Fireplace this Christmas Eve, you might wonder why anyone in his or her right mind would visit an active volcano. Tonight, we're taking you on a journey to one of the deadliest volcanoes on the planet, an extraordinary quest. ABC's Gloria Riviera experiences the death-defying drama, along with one unlikely and very brave adventurer.
The sheer force of it is like nothing else on the planet.
When you're this close, you not only hear that boom, but you feel it.
What you see is stop in your tracks stunning. We're inside the Ring of Fire, the most explosive terrain on Earth, bearing witness to one of nature's most violent and unpredictable forces. And at the center of it all, 11-year-old Molly Ambrose, the world's youngest volcano hunter. She's traveled to Indonesia with her father, Brad.
Can you hold on to my bag?
Who makes a living filming rare images of nature's most explosive threat.
I can smell something burning. But every single volcano is different. You know, they've got basically different personalities.
And right now, they're venturing to one of the angriest, the elusive Batu Tara, to capture the ultimate shot of this violent volcano located on an uninhabited, inhospitable island.
What are the dangers on a volcano?
Lots of things could go wrong. When the lava spits out of the crater, it could hit you and you could get burnt, or rock and get hit in the head.
The longer you sit around a dangerous place, something bad will happen.
Leading this Indonesian odyssey, Brad's boss, Jeff Mackley, a legend in the business.
At the moment, I'm about as close as you can get to the volcano.
A lifelong adrenaline junkie.
I guess it's like a drug. When you find something you like, you do it again and again, even though it may cause you harm. I think is how you describe that.
There's the goal down there.
5 meters.
Together, these New Zealand natives have been to hell and back.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus.
Cashing in big with breathtaking footage like this, just feet from a chaotic cauldron of bubbling lava.
What does it look like? It looks like the surface of the sun. It looks like all of my wildest dreams.
It's pictures like these that have made them famous. But new adventures beckon. The more remote and difficult the journey, the greater the prize. And we want in, so we asked them to be our guides. But can they really pull it off with a child in tow?
Every time you go out there and you get on a volcano, what are you hoping for?
I'm hoping to come back alive.
So am I, because this journey will be treacherous. Indonesia is home to a record 147 active volcanoes. And on our way to Batu Tara, we pass through this hellscape, a volcanic sulfur mine engulfed with toxic gas. A large enough eruption could unleash a giant acid lake on everyone below. Water so toxic, it dissolves metal. It is risky, even for the adults who work here, and certainly not ideal for an 11-year-old.
What do you think of this place?
It's cool, really cool.
This is an inherently dangerous and unpredictable place. Does Molly have any place being there?
I think so. She's getting world experience that she's not going to get anywhere else. There's only so much you can learn from looking at a TV screen or experience on a computer.
Howdy.
Brad, a divorced dad, is almost always on the road. And if Molly didn't come along, he says he'd barely see her at all.
Because I actually live about 4 or 5 hours away from her, I want the time that we have together to be special.
This noxious volcanic mine is a first for Molly, but Jeff's been here before.
It's been roughly 10 years since I was last here, and things have changed an awful lot. Now the tourists outnumber the miners, probably 100 to 1.
Volcano tourism is the latest trend in adventure travel, and that's a problem for Jeff, because no client is willing to pay top dollar for pictures anyone can get. To stay at the top of his game, he has to up the ante.
How far are you willing to go to get those shots?
To the ends of the earth.
And that's exactly where we're headed.
Batu Tara is one of the most active volcanoes on Earth at the moment, but a place most people have never heard of.
Let alone seen. We take 2 planes, a long drive, and hook up with a local guide who helps us hitch a ride on a tuna fishing boat for the final leg.
The only way to get out to this volcano is to take one of these boats, 6 hours at least. We're told it's going to be pretty bumpy.
They drop us off and then they disappear for a couple of days and go fishing, and hopefully they come back.
This is the Flores Sea, and we are surrounded by volcanoes stretching 25,000 miles around the Pacific. This ring of fire is home to 90% of the world's earthquakes and by far most volcanic eruptions.
So you got tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes. The Ring of Fire is it safe to say it's like the most volatile place on Earth?
Well, I wouldn't call it volatile, I'd call it necessary. If you didn't have that stuff going on, the Earth would be tearing itself apart. You know, whenever you go to these places, if you've forgotten something, you don't have it. If you need a hospital, there isn't one. If something goes wrong, you're screwed.
Our local guide says fewer than 50 Westerners have ever braved the journey, certainly none as young as Molly.
Hattie is Indonesian for danger. Maybe she should just move with Daddy.
The trip is brutal. 6 grueling hours on a dodgy boat speeding into oblivion. Only Molly keeps smiling, the rest of us queasy.
But you can see it's erupting right now.
Oh yeah, look, oh my god. Whoa. That's huge. It's almost like on cue. Just as we started to get close, Batu Tara erupted, almost as a welcome, or maybe a warning.
One by one, we load up.
Easy, high five, we made it.
Even this strange passenger. Our guides insist we bring him along as a sacrifice to the spirit of the volcano, an idea Molly hates.
Hello, we just made it to Batu Tara.
We're now on sacred ground. Locals have always steered clear for fear of upsetting Batu Tara.
Once that boat's gone, that's it, we're alone. We're alone out here.
When night falls, we get to work. And with only 48 hours on this island, every second counts.
What do you have to do to get the shot once you're on Batu Tara?
Well, you pretty much got to stay awake with a camera aimed at the action for as long as it takes to get the action, and you don't know when that's going to come, or whether you're going to run out of batteries before you even get the action.
The largest eruption we've had so far happened.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go and see how big it really was.
The guys are able to film a few decent eruptions, but not the shot they're after. We have no way to predict just how violent each eruption will be.
So what is the safety plan there?
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
It's called a luck plan. You're on an active volcano. The safest thing to do would be not to be there at all.
It's not just the lava that worries me. The terrain here is unforgiving and the elements extreme. And when Brad and Jeff are distracted, Molly falls on jagged rocks, injuring her elbow.
Molly was behind us while we were talking, and she just slipped on a rock. And it only happened, 20 centimetres behind me. Yeah.
She needed Dad, and that was a no shit moment, to be honest. It was like, oh God, this is the first night.
The night only gets worse when we attempt to sleep in our makeshift camp.
So we've had a major rainstorm at night. We've had a few really big explosions, but it's the rain that's really causing huge problems right now because our camp is basically collapsing.
And at the same time, we realised that the sea is starting to invade our camp to the point where the waves are crashing so close, they're coming in and hitting us. Put all that together, it was kind of like hell.
We're trapped between an erupting volcano and swelling seas. And at this rate, I'm not even sure how we'll get off this island. Coming up, we face the full wrath